Already? Already? Am I live? Does it work? Is it? Yeah, okay. Alright, Brax already wants to gamble all. But I don't have to gamble. Alright. Does everything work? I think it does. We're live, we're streaming. It looks smooth on my end. Bitrate. I don't know what that means. Fuck is. Bro, on my face. Alright, anyway. So. We're yeah. We're programming and shit. Yeah. Do you know I don't have any music? I hope that's not too bad. Right? Because I don't even know what we would listen to. I don't have the chill hop thingy bop that I used to have. Let me try and I'm not logged into Firefox at all because I don't use it. Shine in with me. You're kinda quiet. Can you boot me up? Can I just say Twitch? Yeah. If you can't, welcome back, Tim. Okay, well, now I don't want to join anything. How do I? How do I? Okay. So, here's the question: do we want to? Kind of quiet and everything's 100. Fuck, bro. I don't, bro. Fuck. um. I can do a bit of gain. How about 5? How about this? Is this better? Oh shit! I'm still in Discord. Fuck. Hang on. I didn't know. I'm still in Discord. Alright, let me leave. Okay. Alright. I should be back now. So, is the 5 gain enough? Alright, hang on. So, here's the deal. I hope everything is enough. Let me just. Alright, you can look at my cool air backgrounds. Alright. Alright. So, I can move a bit closer to my mic maybe. It's in the same position. Alright. So, is this good? The Bride of the Hex. Is this good? I'm already recording. Why'd you make one of the tags survival? Did I? I didn't. I didn't. Look. Is it? For fuck's sake. I'm just trying to fucking stream manager. Why is it survival? I didn't edit stream info. Okay. Done. Alright. I should have removed it. I hope now it's not survival anymore. Fuck me. Alright. Stupid shit. Alright. So. Okay. I hope it's enough. Everything says it's good and excellent. Alright. So, do we want music? Yes or no? Will we live to see program run? Yes, we will. Just alright. Do we do How loud is it? Oh, you can't even hear it. Ugh. Bullshit. Because hang on. Audio output capture supports desktop audio. Firefox. Add source. No, that's not Firefox. That's everything. Fuck that. Yes. There we go. Application audio, right? New source, Firefox. Yes. And then we do Firefox. There we go. It's loud as fuck. I hope that's enough. Alright. I think it's a bit too loud, the stream. So I'm gonna just... Okay. Can I put it on shuffle? Good. Alright. What the fuck? Okay, I put it at 0.5. Is this good? But okay, I hope it is. So, why haven't I been streaming? Because I suck at it, right? When I stream, I sort of kind of want a goal to finish the stream with, right? That's basically what I want. The whole problem with it is that it's a bit difficult. And the only two games that I can play right now are like Minecraft and coding. I don't know why I said two games, but yeah, that's about it. And I thought, okay, how about I make, like, if I need a program on stream, I'll just make it on stream. So the goal of the stream will be to make a program. That's it. Right? And I thought, okay, what if we make a program that's gonna be a checklist that I can update while I'm streaming, so that it will be in the corner, and we will always have like an overview of what I'm doing, right? A little checklist to just guide me forward through the streams. So, that's what we'll be doing. Yeah, that's about it. It's gonna be a Python, and me and Brax already made a name for it. I'm gonna call it Sticky, like a sticky note. Bruh. Fucking, where is Steam? Steam, out of my face. Alright, will anything else pop up? Okay, good. Fuck me. Alright. So, Sticky. God, it's a bit too loud for me. Can you believe that? I'm moving sub pickles over here. Okay. Now it's probably too quiet for you guys. You know what? No. 0.69. There you go. Alright, so. Right. Rule 0, because we're programmers, we come from 0. Rule 0 of programming is nothing matters, right? It doesn't matter what what editor to use, what programming language you use, what your OS is, anything. nothing matters. That's the rule 0 of programming. So I'm gonna be using not VS Code or something like that. I'm gonna be using Micro, and I think at first we're gonna make a notes. Right, there you go. So here we are. Notes. Right. Is it big enough? I can make it bigger. What was this? Can you use 2 languages at once? Yeah, you could, but it will require some setup. And right now, I basically just want to make a single app. And now the song is too quiet. Broskis. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it here, and then I'm gonna bring this back down to bullshit. Fuck, I hate this audio. All right, so I think we're gonna do a couple of notes about what this program should even be. All right. So the big idea is that this is gonna be a checklist. Right. Very big idea. The checklist. Well, it doesn't only have to be a checklist, but also has to output a file of the current checklist. So, well, and here's the question, and here's where you fucks can come in and help me design this, right? How, like, in what way do we want to program this? Well, okay, first of all, I want to say Python, because Brahex does Python and kind of wants to learn Python, so that would be fun. Right. And now what? How are we gonna design this? Right. So, the whole idea of this program is that we have a checklist. We can add things to do to it. And then at the end of the stream, hopefully, we have everything finished. Now, there's 2 questions already that I have. Is it gonna be a CLI program or a REPL? Now, this shit don't mean anything to you, does it, Brahex? But basically, I don't really know how to explain it. A CLI, long time no see. Yes. So yeah, I don't know how to explain a CLI program. Git is one example of it. And basically you have a program that it accepts some input on the terminal, right? Like Git. Oh god. And it does stuff. I've seen CLI before. Okay. And you know what CLI is? Alright, but REPL basically means read, evaluate, print, loop, right? And that's basically what it says. So you read things from the user, you evaluate that thing, you print it, and then you go back to the beginning. and then you read again. That's what this is. Python is one. If I do this, there you go, Python, right? And then I can type my shit in. Right, so it read my shit, it evaluated it, it didn't have to print anything, and yeah, and then I can do X, for instance. It read it, it goes, alright, I guess he wants to see what is in X, and then he prints 0, and then back we're at the read step. This is what a REPL is, right? And you can just fuck around. I don't know. Fucking. Alright, and then you can see X again, and then you can do it again, and you can see X again, and so on and so forth. That's what basically a REPL is, right? I don't know why this is at the bottom. Technically shouldn't. Is some too zoomed in? That would be crazy. God, micro. Alright. So, that's basically the question. What are we gonna have? Are we gonna make Sticky a CLI program? Are we gonna make it a REPL program? That's the question, basically. And I don't know. I think just for Python, right, just getting shit started, that a REPL program would be easier, right? So one thing it has to do is that it has to write, let's just say, okay, it's gonna be a REPL. Fucked up. One thing that it has to do is it has to write a file. REPL seems fit for Python. Alright, write a file so that I can display it on stream. Right, that's the big point basically, because you know I don't want to have a little terminal window in the top corner that basically has the shit, you know, open. I would like it if it's just there in the corner, like, you know, half transparent, so people can see it. Right. Now, one thing about the REPL is, now I'm just gonna make it like a bit more. One thing about the REPL is how what okay, so Python has a REPL and it executes Python statements, right? But it doesn't really mean that our code has to do the same. We can accept, you know, not pure Python stuff, but we can basically limit it to certain commands, and that those commands have subcommands. So we can, for instance, have like an add command that adds something to the checklist, or we can mark things off of the checklist so that they have like an X on them, and yeah, I would basically just be checking if you know, the string at the beginning has something or something like that, right? So we're gonna make it a REPL. How are we gonna make the commands look like? And specifically, what commands do we want? Because it will be a REPL, we don't really need to show it. We can just keep showing the checklist. Yeah. So obviously we're gonna have like an add command to add something, right? With a title, right? We're gonna mark something as done. How are we gonna do it? I don't know yet, right? It's just one of the commands we're gonna have. fuck is this music? I hope this music isn't too loud. Right? So, add something, mark it. If you add something, you probably also want to delete it. What we put in, I don't know. I don't really think we can do it on the title. Because what if I mistype a really long title? You know, it's like, I don't know. Right. Alright, one thing that pops into my brain is that, let's say, you know, we're working on something in Minecraft and this project, this checklist is gonna persist across multiple streams, right? I don't want to keep my PC turned on the whole time and have the REPL running the whole time. So I think we need some way to save a checklist into a file and then reread it later. So this file would be a text file so that I can display on stream, right? But here we would need some sort of other file just to save the state of the checklist. So what has been written into it, what is already marked done, so that I can just load it in later. So I'm just gonna write save checklist into a file to be loaded later, right? And it's the question how we're gonna do it. Are we gonna have the load be part of the REPL, or are we gonna have it be part of the program? So when you launch the program, you launch it with a file that contains the data for the checklist, right? Does anything pop up in your guys' brain? Right? Is there anything else that we could add to this? I don't really know. Right, that's the point. Right now we're programming. We're at the beginning. We haven't written a single line of code. Right? If I save this, then I just do ls. That's all we have. We just have the notes. We have nothing else because we're at the beginning. We don't know what's gonna hit us. Right? This is just the idea of the program. It's just that I like to sit down and think about what is it gonna be before I start headfirst programming something that, as it turns out, wasn't necessary. All right. Yeah. Do you guys have any ideas on what to do or what we could add to Sticky or something like that? Right? Maybe some commands to the REPL that I haven't figured out yet, or something like that. Alright, nobody's saying anything. Then let's pop into the Python and start the programming, I guess. Actually, let's make a little checklist, alright? Alright, so what do I want done first? Let's have a little echo REPL. Right, so basically you type something in and it gets spit back out to you, right? Let's then try to add some commands to the REPL. Right, again, by the way, it doesn't matter what the fuck you use. I could write this shit in Notepad if I wanted to. Right? So it doesn't matter what you use, as long as you're getting shit done. Right, echo REPL, add some commands to the REPL. I don't know. I guess saving we can do later once we know shit, like how we're gonna structure this. And write a text file, yeah, we can do that later. Alright, let's get these two fucking things done. God damn it. Fucking Windows. Alright, how about can I take this stuff and just fucking there you go. I thought of a command that separates high priority tasks and splits a checklist into two. Alright. Yeah. Brahex thought of a command that less stuff into one and more important stuff into the other, right? Separates higher priority tasks and splits a checklist into two. Lesser stuff into one and the more important stuff into another. Alright, let me add the to-do list to the thing so you can see how it would look like. Where is it? Where's programming? Programming sticky to-do.txt. Oh god, alright. What the fuck? Alright. Calm down. 72. How do I? Ooh, I can. Yeah, this. Yeah. Oh God, why does it use fucky? Hang on. I want not MF and not NF. I want broskies. Why is it all combined? Huh? There we go. Okay. Yeah. How does that look like? Right. Opacity. Oh God, no, I want left. Okay. Right now we put it like up here. Make it small, maybe. How about that? Huh? Let me make it full screen on my second monitor. Yeah. See? That's the whole idea of Sticky, what we're gonna make. So it's just gonna be a little checklist here at the top, so people can see, what's happening and what's going on. So micro, what are we gonna call it? Let's call it sticky.py. Okay, so because it's Python, there are multiple ways to do it. For now, I might just continue programming. So, REPL, right? Read, evaluate, print, loop. So, how do you read shit in Python? I have here my thing, and I can go Python read line. Oh, Jesus Christ. GNU read line in broski. What? Hold up a minute. They have thingy-bop? Damn. So this is gonna be great for the REPL later. We can. Fuck yeah, bro. I wanna put this in the notes, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. Read line in Python. Okay. Anyway, sorry. That was just alright. Input and output. There you go. Fancier printing. Alright, let's. Alright, broskis. Reading and writing files. Okay, I'm trying to get to the fucking read. What's it called? The read? What was it called? Was it called prompt? What was it called again? It was called read, right? Read. Read line threading. OS read. Read n bytes from file descriptor. No, I want. What? Am I stupid? How do we use Python? And I thought I could program in Python. Library reference. Yes, there we go. Built-in function. Yes, it is a built-in functions. Where is it? B, C, D, E. What? X, ID, input. Here we go. Input. That's what it's called. Getting input from the user. Right. So, let me show you. Sticky pie. Alright, so we go input, and then that's about it. That's all we gotta do. Right, here we are. I executed the program. It's now sitting here waiting for me to type some shit in. And then it exits because that's all it does. Alright. If we check here, So if you have a string in here, it outputs it to the thingamybob and then shows it. So if I go in and I do this little boy, and I do pi again, then we have a little caret at the front, and then we can type whatever the fuck, and it's still gonna do nothing because we're not using it. So if you have if you assign it to something, then you can have the entire string that they typed in as a variable. So let's call it input. No, we can't call it input. Fuck. Let's call it S. I don't give a fuck, right? And then we can, well, just print it. Right? There you go. Okay. I want you to realize something. We're almost done with the echo REPL. Alright? Because here we're reading it. We aren't evaluating it because there is nothing to evaluate. So that's done. We're printing it. And the only thing that's missing is the loop. So sorry, my parents are doing so. While true, no, I think we might be done. Look, here we got the thingy up. We can go nice. It goes nice back at us. We can, here's another one. And we can go some cool shit and it spits it back out at us. So, right. Well, the problem, if you want to exit or something, it doesn't work. The only thing that you can exit this thing is because it's an infinite loop, is by doing Control C. There you go. And right. Let's get that shit off done. There you go. I saved it. They changed it. Look, nice. All right. So, well, I mean, cool. We just made an echo REPL. Amazing. Now it gets complicated. How are we gonna do commands, right? So, for instance, where is the notes? Here it is. So we have add and mark and delete and so on, but we need some way to exit the fucking thing. So maybe we're gonna put exit on there, which exits the thing. Because this doesn't require any arguments, why not just program it in? So we're gonna go with the sticky, right? So this S is gonna contain the string that we have. One way to now the thing is, this S will basically have the string shown to us in a way that makes sense to humans, right? It's not really for developers. I would like to see exactly what is in the string. And one thing we can do is, I think we can plug it through the REPL. No, REPL, is that what it is? I think so. Right, we can try it. Nice. Yeah, okay. So you see it has these quotes. These quotes mean it's a string. So if I now type some other stuff like cool shit bro, and then I do like it's a back slash, right? What we can see is that, first of all, Python changed it to be quotes instead of single quotes because we're using a quote in the string. So if it would be single quotes, it would be this entire string, and then at the back end here, it would just be like stupid Python shit. That's not how it works. So yeah, that's why don't confuse yourself. This is a string and this is a string. But what you might notice is that the backslash has got another backslash in it. That's because it escaped the backslash. So I don't really know why, but one of the things that you do in strings is that you escape certain characters, right? So, oh, we didn't do exit, didn't we? Oh, fuck. All right. So, if I go in and I were to put a backslash in here, it will look a bit shit, right? I hope you can see it, right? So instead of the string being gray like it was here, this all of a sudden is white, and then this is gray as if it's part of the string. Well, that's the thing. We have basically said, all right, listen, as programmers, we're gonna need some type of special characters at some point. But it's difficult to type them because you can't just enter in and enter into your program as a string. So just as programming things, people have decided, all right, we're gonna have special things mean special things. So for instance, right, let's say we wanted to wrap all of this in parentheses, right? If we were to do shit, okay, like yeah, what I'm getting at? Hang on, like if we print this, if we try and do this shit, it doesn't really do what we want. We wanted to have two quotes in the front here. I saw quite how it works. Because oh god. What we have to do is that we have to escape those motherfuckers. Because they're part of the string. If we then escape those MFs and basically tell Python, listen, this quote doesn't mean end the string. It means, hey, I want the character quoted here. And now if we run it, there you go. Now we get the two quotes. Right. And this is called an escape sequence. I don't really know why it is that way, but for instance, if you wanted to put in a new line into the string, like as if you pressed enter, then what you do is you do \n. N for new line, I suppose. But if we run this, right, let's read the string. It means print the caret and then a new line and then allow us to input shit. So if we were to, reason through it, what we're gonna see this boy and then an enter, and then this is where we can enter stuff. And then if we press enter, it's gonna throw it back at us. That is what we would expect to see. Right? Experiment. There you go. It basically printed the caret, then quote unquote printed the new line, which means move the cursor to a new line. And now I can enter shit, and then it's gonna get spit out at us. Alright. Now, the reason why I wanted this wrapper around it is that it can highlight these escape sequences. If I remove the wrapper and I go back to what I had in the beginning and I do just this is a backslash, it's just gonna print the backslash, which isn't really what is in the string. Oh god. Right? But if I throw the wrapper around it, and then I do this is actually, I think it should be in the thing, shouldn't it? Yeah, there you go. It prints 2 backslashes, because if I want to have this as a Python string, I have to copy this MF and pop in, and here you go. It escaped the backslash. If I remove it, it then tries to escape this boy, and then it's all broken. Right? So after this, you can make like a numbered order of dots. Alright, hang on. We didn't even do the commands yet, alright? So here we are. And if I type something in, we see it exactly as how Python would show it to us. I think I can even try to do some shit like... Oh, Jesus. Oh, is it an end of file? Of course it is. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. Well, okay, look. So right now we have the loop, right? We have the run. We don't have any evaluate right now, and we have to print. So let's evaluate some shit. Basically, if S is exit, then, well, we want to break out of the loop. Right, so this is the read. Then comes the evaluate. And then comes the print. And then comes the REPL. So on the shit. There you go. We added exit. Now, you know, we can type in whatever. No, right, we do exit. Alright, who can tell me what happened here? Right, and I hope now you realize why I put the REPL around it. Because this is the string that Python got. This is the string that Python got from the input function. Can you tell me why it didn't exit? And now we wait 5 hours because of stream latency. For fuck's sake, like. God damn it. Alright. Nobody is saying anything. Brax is probably typing. Not even stream latency. Okay, so not even stream latency. And I hope you said that when I said stream latency. Anyway, the reason why it didn't exit is because we are checking for the exact string exit. We're checking for the exact string exit. But we, or I rather, put in a space after it. Now, if it would just normally print, then we wouldn't have seen it because we don't have any of these delimiters. So it would have gone, okay, printed exit, although we typed an exit. But no, I typed an exit string space, and that is the problem. Now, if I type in exit correctly without any space, it works. Now, oh, I went right over my head. Yeah, that's why I put the REPL over there, right? So that it prints it in a way that we expected. If you want the space case to work, you could put a space in here, right? So it checks if the string that we input is exit space. And I put a space in there. But then if you just type exit, it's not gonna work. Because it expects exit space. Fuck, there you go. Right? So we need somehow of removing all the fucking white space around the string. Hello, Python. What? I think, there's something called trim. No, okay. Well, how about we look into the string? Into the fuck, bro. Motherfucker. Can we remove the thing, bro? And is it okay? Oh jeez. Oh, okay. All right. Here we are. So, string methods. All right. Find starts with, end with, replace, split, joining, classification, case manipulation, padding, and stripping. There we go. Strip. All right. Returns a copy of the string with the leading and trailing characters removed. That's what we want, right? So, if we input a string that has a bunch of white space around it, and we call strip on it, it will return it stripped. So that means we gotta check if the is it just strip? Yeah. If the stripped if the stripped version of the string is exit. Oh, there we go. Python, and I do exit space. It exited. Because, yeah. Right, so I can type exit normally. I can type exit space. I can put a bunch of spaces and then exit. And it will still exit. Cool. So, we did some things on it. We have exit done. That's quite nice. What should we do now? Right. So we have exit. All right. Well, how about we add some things to the checklist? Right? I mean, it makes sense. What if one of the tasks had the word exit in it, though? So, you mean we do add, and then we do, for instance, add an exit to the base, right? Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why we put ourselves into a dirt box in Minecraft, but we did. Well, nothing. Because we are specifically checking for the word exit by itself in the thingamabobble, in the string. But here's the thing, you're right though. If we type in exit and then nice after it, well, it won't work. Because this is the string. No amount of trimming of stripping or whatever the fuck, I don't know why it's called stripping, can remove the word nice. But we can also do nice exit. And then I won't exit. So, yeah, this now is just how do you implement it, right? Also, fun fact: what if I leave like? Oh, it just switches them, piece of shit. So yeah, this is just how do you want to implement it, right? Does the person have to write exit all by themselves for it to be a valid command? Or can the person write anything? And if it's not a valid command, it won't get accepted, and that's it, right? How do you want to design this? There is no perfect answer for this because it's a design answer, right? So yeah, we would have to think about how we would want to design this. Yeah. Now. Yeah. So we got exit in. That's nice. Let me drink. Let's have like a little tiny break. Just we did something. It might not be much, but we did something at least, right? I know people who program in JavaScript who can't write anything for like 5 hours because, yeah, because it's JavaScript. So just because I said rule 0 of programming, nothing matters. It doesn't mean that I cannot be racist against programming languages. Or whatever you want to call it. So I hate JavaScript with a passion. So yeah. Progress again. Actually, you know what we could do? We could pop into the to-do and then say like make an under command and then say like exit the command, and then we can do an add command, and if I save it, it should update it. What the fuck? Okay. Hang on, so you're telling me if I go into here, no, stop it. If I go into sticky, these are all tabs? No, it's not. Anyway, so yeah. Exit command, done. I guess we can add a little tilde into here to say it's sort of kind of done. Alright. Yeah, this is cool, right? So this is how I want the output of sticky to look like. Just some text file, and then I can just show it, right? Right. Let's take a look at the notes. And what do we want to work on now? Maybe we take like a little reverb because that's what I feel like doing. So yeah, next up is the add command, as it's written in the checklist. So right. Let's pop into here. So here's the question. Fuck me sideways, bro. Fucking Jesus Christ. Like, how am I? Fucking hang on. Text and binary. Where did, like? How do I get there? So use str, and it's above this. What? Ah, okay. So fucking Python dogs. All right. Okay. So, what in the fuck is this song, bro? I don't know. Everything's still working? Yeah, seems like it. So, let's try and do the add command. And specifically, if what we realize we've typed in is the add command, print that it is an add command, and then what the title would be. Right? So, pop into sticky. If the thing is exit, we break. We could do an else. I wouldn't bother. Because I don't know. So, alright. And here's the question. How are we gonna design this? Oh, for fuck's sake. There you go. How are we gonna design this? Are we gonna make it so that you type in add and then you can type in the title and that adds it to the to the thing? Or are we gonna make it so that a person can type it add and then the title together, and that just as a whole adds it in, right? So this is another design decision that we can make. So usually whenever you look around how to design things, you will hear either UI or UX, right? So the UI is the user interface, how something looks like, like a website, for instance. But then there is a part that is called the UX, the user experience, right? And I find the user experience very important, right? I'm very picky about the UX. So the questions like that, like how do we accept the information, for me are very, like, I'm very picky about them because I want it to be good. I don't want it to be like a stupid, like you've probably interacted with like a stupid program where you have to like if you press a button you have to wait a little bit so that it does something in the background but you can't see it, right? Like it's just that little piece of like that is the UX is shit. The UI can look however great it might look, but the UX is shit, right? Imagine a website that looks absolutely beautiful. Everything is buttery smooth, everything is amazing. But to get where you want to get to on the website, you would have to go scroll all the way to the bottom and then click on one of the links, which brings you to an older version of the website, so that you can now see in the header the option that you want, so that you can click on it and it sends you to the new version of the website, but it's not available on the new version of the website. That type of shit is fucked up UX. So there is a difference between UI and UX, right? I'm not a person that usually cares for UI that much. I don't really care about how something is presented, right? If it's presented in a way so that the user understands it, like that's already 90% of the job done. but I really give a fuck about the UX of this website. If you have to jump through loopholes just to do something very simple, then it's not good UX, and I want it fixed. So, that is why I would like to fix the UX of this. So, how do we program it in? Do we make it so that the user types in everything, or the user types in one thing after the other? The easier thing would be is that the user types in everything at once, and we just evaluate it, and Bob's your uncle, right? That would be easy to implement, but the UX would be a bit shit. I hope that it wouldn't be too difficult to change the UX to be more like each thing has a prompt. Yeah. So let's just say that in the beginning the person types in everything, and it has to be complete and done and amazing. We're not gonna do error handling right now. I wanna die if we try to do error handling. So, how are we gonna do this? There are many ways to do it. And I think what we have to do is basically right. So what you can do is that you can strip the string, and then you can check if the where is it? I read it in here, which is why here starts with, right? It just checks if the string that you put in starts with a prefix. But I don't really want that, because it means that you have to check if the string starts with something, and then you have to like take that bit out, and the rest is like the rest of your command, so you have to keep doing it. Like it's a bit difficult. So what I think we're gonna do is we're actually going to, where is it? We have strip. I don't want strip, bro. I don't want a strip, bro. The split. There you go. So returns a list of the words in the string using sep as a delimiter string. So, we have the string 1, 2, 3, and we split on the comma, we get a list back which has these 3 strings that were separated by it. If you have an empty thing between them, then you just get an empty thing back. Right, and here, if you somehow supply nothing, then it splits it by the thingy bob. The fuck? Alright, so we can get the list back. So we can basically I can't call it input because Python. It's the hardest thing in programming, naming things, right? Like, this is Alright. Let me stand up. I have a standing desk, so you're probably gonna hear it. It's moving up. There you go. thing by the side. Hello. I can hear the border. Yeah. So, how do we call this variable? That's the hardest thing ever. I have no idea. Just gonna call it like list. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna split it. So we have this print wrapper of S. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it here at the input. Right? It might seem a bit weird, but that we're printing two things at the same time, but we can clean that up later. So, right. If we then execute this boy, there you go, and I do nice. Right, okay, we get nice in a single list. There you go, it splits it by the space, and if I put a bunch of spaces, it still splits it nicely. So, here's one question. If I do add stuff to the base. Okay. It splits it by space and it puts them all into one thing. One thing that I can try doing is what if I put it in quotes? Right? Okay, it's still split it. That's what I wanted to check. Alright. Sure. Yeah. We can do that. So basically, right? Does that make sense? Add the stuff to the base. So you basically have to check if the first part is the add string. That means the rest is just the title. It printed, oh yeah, because I put the print in here. Right, it printed the string, but it didn't get down to this print, which means that it didn't split it because of the break here. It broke out of this while true loop. Right, so it's yeah. So if we do add, so basically we have to check if the first element in the list is a string. I want to know if there is, oh god, fucking, is the list, is there up here something? No, common sequence operations. If X in S, well, so, okay. Smallest item, largest item, how the fuck do you know that? Slice S from, okay. If item, origin 0, we can, right, some people might say, okay, Tim, just write if add in an S, right? It's one thing we can do, and it basically checks if in the list themselves, if I, right, if add is in any of these spots, but I specifically want to check if it's in the first spot. So let's go and type if the 0 thing, right, the first thing, because we start counting from 0 and not 1, if that is add, what? Right. So we know if it's a command, I guess. Uh, Now, um, is there some way I can like pop it out? There's del. Remove item of S. I don't know if I trust that. Pop. Retrieve an item at index. It also removes it from the sequence. Remove. Okay, hang on. So pop. Retrieve. What are you trying to build, or are you just learning Python? So but you see the little checklist at the top, left. No, it's not left. Right. You see the little checklist at the top right. I just thought I'd program that in Python, mainly because you know I wanna code streaming for a bit. I mean, I've been streaming for some time now, like, so I could do it really quickly, but I want to go for it slowly so that the other people who watch this can sort of kind of learn. Yeah. But I mean, no, I'm not amazing at Python. I write in like 8 million fucking language. I write in every language that I can. So I don't really know Python that well, and I just thought, you know what? Why not? So I can do pop from the back. That's a bit. Okay, so I am interested. So I split the string. I have the list. What if I pop the first thing and then just check what it is? Goddamn naming. Pop 0, right? And instead of checking if the first element, what if I just checked what I popped? There we go. Okay, that should also modify the list. Right? So if I go nice shit. Oh, it popped off nice. Do I want that? I don't know. Okay, well, let's try add cool shit. Okay, yeah, so it took that thing, it popped it, I genuinely removed it, and the rest is the rest. Do I want that? Is that something that I want? And if I do exit, oh yeah, it works because I handled it differently. Do I want to pop the first thing? I think yes. Because later on in this section, I kind of want to add an else. And I want to print. You know, we can do f strings. F strings is a way of Python doing formatted strings, because usually if you want to like add something to the string, you would have to do like plus and shit. That's just like stupid. I mean, I can show you. So I would like to print no, actually error. If I can type unknown command, and then in here I would like the command. Yeah, that's it for now. So without f strings, I have to end the string here. I then have to do plus on either side. Do str popped. There you go. And that should work. So if I do nice, unknown command nice, right? So yeah, but it looks like garbage. So you can simplify it way easier with f strings. Or you can remove this entire bullshit, and you can do one of these boys, and then you can do. Is it popped? Right. I think my editor just doesn't highlight it, but I think if you. Yeah. My editor just doesn't highlight it correctly, but it does work. So if I do add and nice, and then yeah, that's okay. So all right. So with the add command, and then if I do then I can do another f string, and I can say that the rest is the list. Let's put it in the wrapper again. Yeah, the rest is just the list. All right. Is that what I want? Yeah. That's what I want. The problem is that it's, I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, what if, like, okay, so you do add, right? But then you would like any string, any whatsoever, right? Like what would be something that I would genuinely write? Decorate the house. I'm gonna put in a bunch of spaces, and I'll be just let Martin do it. Right? But if I run this through the split boy, then it removes the spaces in between. Right? It's not quite what I want. Because one thing you can do when you have a list of something, that you can join it back together into a string. I can actually do that with the rest. Hang on. So you can say, I want to say joined, and then all you do is that you provide the string that you want to join the things in between with, and then you do join, and then you put the list in. Right. So if I print not the actually, yeah, it's a string joined. And I do the same thing. Right, there you go. So it removes the spaces. Is that what I want? I guess what we want. Is that what we want in the thing? Let's just say yes. Because we can always fix it later, right? Like, it's not gonna be that shit, so. Okay, so we pop this boy, the rest is that shit. Alright. So we have basically what we need, right? So we know it's an add command. We know it's an add command, right? And then we have the rest of the string, the title, basically. And now here is the question. How are we gonna do it? Because well, there needs to be some type of list that contain all this shit. Right? Like There you go. Here's the checklist. And then we gotta update that boy. So at the end here, instead of doing the list, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna. Okay. If we now check out, if I do some stuff, the checklist is empty because we're not adding anything to the checklist, and I miswrote it. Fuck. If we then do add something, it doesn't add it to the checklist. Right. So what we gotta do is that we gotta do checklist. Now I always forget what it is. Okay. Append, and then I guess the joint string. All right. The checklist was before nothing, an empty list. Then I did add something, and I added it to the list. Now it's progress, yes. It is, but not quite. Hang on, let me sit back down again. This fucking thingy-me-bob. Do my keybinds work if I can I quickly mute myself if somebody comes in? No. Okay, good to know. Alright. So we can add things to the checklist. Yippee. Well, not quite. Because, as you might notice in the checklist, these things have like the states, right? Like they can be done or not, which is like a piece of thing we gotta keep in mind. Right. Now, what we could do is that we could say that, okay, we're going to enforce a convention. We're going to have a checklist. And then when we append it, we do another list. So basically, we're gonna have joined as something, but in front of it, we're gonna have if it's done or not as a true or false. So we can do false and then join. If I now try it out and I add something, there you go. So the checklist is gonna be a list of lists which contain data in a specific format. The first thing is if it's done or not. The second thing is the title. That is one way to do it, right? You can totally do it this way and just keep doing it forever. But we're not in the 1980s anymore. Alright? We can do some stuff. We have Python, it's object oriented. I don't like it myself, but we can use it. Which means, guess what? We need to make a class. So we can make a class. What are we gonna call it? Let's call it items. If I can type. Right. And how the fuck do you how do you do Python OP? I forgot. I usually use data classes, which is why I like. Isn't there the init method or something? Hang on. Where's the docs? Take me to the docs. I need the docs. Okay. How to functional pro C8 guys. Async IO and okay. I'm a bit further in. No, language reference. Objects. What the fuck? No, I want tutorial. I mean, I don't really need it, but sure. Whetting your appetite. What? Okay. If for break while on pass match. More on defining functions, data structures, list, L dictionaries, modules. Reading and writing file. We need that in the future. Classes. DNet, yes. There you go. Okay. You do definite and the bullshit. Alright. And you do self, right? Is that how it works? Yeah, okay. How do we call it if it's done or not? Oh, I know. No, well, we don't really need it, do we? We can just say that it's always like if we make an item, it's just always false. Like, yeah. I mean, you just need title. All right, self. If it's done, no. And the title is what we pass it. Right? And then instead of appending that in, we can do item. We don't pass in self, and then we do the title, which is the join to get a string. Item? Do you mean items? Did I fuck her up? It's an item. Thanks. Method objects, class and instance class variables. That's how you make class variables? This is valid. Okay. I didn't know. Unexpectedly shared by all dogs. Thank you, Python. Correct design of the class. Oh, baby. Sorry. Random remarks. I don't want inheritance. Go away. Multiple inheritance. My favorite. Private variable. Odds and ends. Odds and ends. Data class. Yeah, I know. I know him. Readline. Yo. So, isn't that what we wanted? I don't know what that is. Anyway, fucking. How do we. I've been using this rapper boy. How do you make a rapper? Rapper lib. What the fuck? Built-in function. Alright. Defining. Ah, there we go. Called by the rapper. Yes. Okay. Because I want. Oh, I thought, where's my editor? There it is. Alright, so we gotta define this bullshit then. Brax, do you know what's going on, or am I going too fast for you? Do you have any questions, something like that, or like do you know what we're doing? Hang on, let me move this. There you go. All right. I have end lag. It'll all register for me tonight. All right. I'm gonna upload the VOD to YouTube if you want that. If you think YouTube is a nicer experience than watching it on Twitch. I am recording on Thingamabot. Let's hope my hard drive doesn't get too full. It should be, I think, but yeah. I changed some recording settings. I hope they actually work. Let's hope they work. Yeah, I'm gonna try and uploading it to YouTube. So we have a checklist with items in them. Let's write those MFs to a file. Because in the words of the Mr. Clarkson, how hard can it be? So, input and output, right? Reading and writing files. Good. Open returns a file object. And in most commonly used with 2 positional arguments and 1 keyword argument. Open file name mode encoding. Okay. Right. The first argument with suck my balls. Alright, cool. So, as you can see, here it is. The escape sequences, right? As it turns out, there is a new line at the end of the file, which means that we have to, add it in as well. Alright, so this is just so usually when you work with files, you open them, and then you get what's called a file handle back, and then you can use this file handle to write and read things from it. But then one of the things at the end of the program you have to do is you have to close it. Now, people forget things, so you might forget to close it, right? Or for instance, an exception happens and then like it just doesn't close it correctly. Which is why this with thing has been invented by Python developers. Basically, everything in this scope that's under the with block, you can access this normally, but then once you're out of it again, like with this thing, the file has been closed and everything is great. So we're gonna be using this with thingamybob. Here's the question: where do we put it? I would say at the end, like even after we print it, because I wouldn't say that saving the file means evaluating the input. That is not what evaluating the input is. So after we print, let's save the file. Okay. Save the text file. Specifically, what I'm gonna write now will be the output that will go onto the stream in the section. Right, so with open, and what was it? Alright, workflow W. Okay, so what are we gonna call the W? The W. What are we gonna call the file? I don't want to call it to do because that's what I have right now. Let's call it checklist for now. .txt, right? We're gonna make it writable, and then we're gonna pop the encoding UTF-8 because Python is an old stupid language. So there you go. With what was it? With that as F. Okay. So in this block now I can write everything I want. So for instance, I can do f.write checklist. Right? And then let's just not do anything after that, which means that down here it's gonna be closed. Right, but it's gonna loop back up to the while true, so we'll just keep on doing that stuff. Let's just see what happens. So if I boot it up and I do nice, it should have written a file. Now I haven't printed anything, so let's just check it. Yeah, there we go. Checklist.txt. And it has the one line we wrote in it, checklist, which is the thing we bought. Now I wonder if we now execute it. Let me change the program so that after it closes we print written hang on, maybe you can't see it because there you go. Written file something. That's about it. And now we need this thing. Let's extract this boy into a file name. Right. So checklist get passed into here, and then it's get passed into here, so that we can print it nicely, and so on and so forth. If I do exit, oh, it doesn't do anything, does it? Because it breaks in a loop. Yeah, okay. Nice. Written file checklist. All right. And if I exit, it doesn't do it. Let's check out the checklist again. Okay, let's get it. It's got a new line. Yeah, I mean, it's got the only line. Ah, fuck. Fuck's sake. There you go. Let me drink. I haven't drank something in fucking the entire time since 2 hours basically. Except the fucking coffee that I drank. Okay. So we write checklist, but now we have to go through the items in the checklist and print each out into the checklist. So we can use a for loop for item in checklist, right? And then in here, well, how are we gonna do it? Let's just do fucking. Yeah, let's just do like a single. Right, so what I want is I want one of these. Something in here. And then the title. So let's make an F string. We're gonna have a boy in here. And we're gonna have a boy in here. So basically the mark is gonna be either an X or a space. So if item dot done, then mark is gonna be X. Else the mark is gonna be a space. Right? And then we need the item title. Is that it? Yeah, okay. So let's run it. Nice. Written file. It didn't do dick. Why didn't it do dick? Because we had nothing in the checklist. What the fuck did I just press? Okay. I just saw some freaky shit. Okay, so that means we have to add something to the... Okay. Add something. Add another thing. Right, okay, so see, we have the checklist, we add something, and then we got an item, and then something, right? We add another thing, we had our original something, and then the other thing, right? So, let's check the checklist. It all added to one line. Guess what I said we have to do that I forgot to do? The new lines. The new lines. Yes. Basically, when you write something in, you have to add in the new lines, right? As I said, escape sequences, it's just something that you get to know, right? And then I add the new line in here. There you go. All right. So add something, add another thing, exit. Absolute coding. Absolute coding. There you go. We got even that shit done. Alright. So this is what we're basically gonna show on stream. I mean, I can do it right now. Fuck it, right? Like I can go and add a text source. Actually, I already have one. This bullshit. And just change it to point to the checklist. There you go. Ah, that's a bugger. Are the errors gonna be a big problem? Well, we'll see. I just realized something. Because I'm gonna have it in the top right, wouldn't it be better if it's the other way? Do you know what I mean? Because right now, right, I can shove it this way, but then once something is very long, it's gonna be sucky. I think what I can technically do. Oh, the wraps by itself. Height. What? I said 1080. It's not 1080. Oh, I can set it to custom. Didn't I set it to 1920 by 1080? Like, hang on, what the fuck is the output? Video 1920 by 1080. Why the fuck? Okay, well I can use the custom height like 2000, good, and then I can do a width of 1200. 900. Yeah. And then it's gonna wrap the text, so vertical alignment. Oh god. Ooh. How is that gonna be? Right? Imagine the more we have on the checklist, the higher it's gonna be. So that's the question. How do we want the checklist to work? Now, I want it in the top left because usually there's nothing there in the, whatever you're doing. Except maybe in Minecraft. So maybe it has to depend on what game we're playing. It just so happens that in coding, right, a lot of the code is going to be here on the left, which means the right's going to be free, which is why I put it there. Top left or bottom left on my picks? Alignment was this one. Oh fuck no. Right. Damn. What is this? Can I save this somewhere? Brazil, of course it's called Brazil. Please come to Brazil. By the way, why does like funk music keep saying shit about my mom? Would it be a hassle to just keep moving it? Well, no, I think it would be fine if it's depending on so it's the same file, right? It reads from the same file. It's just that the settings here are going to be different. So I can add one for Minecraft, which would be like here on the left, or maybe in the top left, like up here, right? And then I can add one for coding, where it's going to be here, and then we can put it on the bottom, for instance, because nothing much is going to be there, right? We can keep it at the top, right? It just depends. Let's keep it at the top for now. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I think so. That's good, right? All right. So there we go, right? So bada bim, bada boom, bitch. Okay, here is a problem. We might have the checklist for the thing, but we can't load it back, right? So, as I wrote in the notes, we have done this, write a text file so that I can display it on stream, yes, but we don't have a way to save the checklist into a file so that we can load it later on. That's a problem, right? Now, I think yes. Okay, so if please, how do I remove this highlight? I hate it. Yes, I know. I'm on the website. Stop highlighting. Okay, so we can save things into a format called JSON, right? There are many ways to save things, but JSON is one of them. So you just basically take whatever Python thing you have, and you can just put it into what's called a JSON string. And then you can write it to a file, for instance, and so on and so forth. That's what I basically want to do right now. I want to save, because, okay, look, if I go and I redo sticky and I do add nice, it's gonna change the checklist because it doesn't load it back, right? So my idea is that whenever I want to start up a stream, right, I go in and I open up the checklist. Like I open up the terminal like this, and then I just open up the checklist. Right, like load to the JSON. It loads all of the things in, and then I can start adding things, or I can mark things, or whatever the fuck. And then once I'm done with the stream, I can just go exit. Ooh, hey. What happened here? Ooh. Okay. And just do exit, and then it's done, right? And if I run it again, I do add something. And we wait a bit. There we go, the checklist change. And then if I do add another thing, it adds a thing. Add a very long thing that goes up over the bound of the text box and should wrap right. So there's the problem. Do we want it displayed like this? This is now UI. Do we want it to be displayed like this, or do we basically want to take all this text and indent it into here? Or is this fine? Like, do people like? Is this enough for like? Oh, this belongs to this thing. And then if I add another thing, it adds at the bottom. I think it's fine. Alright. Because I don't really want to deal with padding that piece of shit. Right, so this is the checklist. Very nice. I can keep it open. The second I exit it and I restart it again, it's gone. And that wouldn't be that cool. Right? So let's go and you know, we have the checklist that's gonna be on the stream, but we should probably make it so that it persists across streams. On command, then do dick. So we have this Jason boy thing, fuck, whatever. Okay. Micro sticky, there we go. Okay, so we somehow have to take this checklist and throw it into a file. What's a bool? It's a boolean. It's either true or false. So, for instance, done over here is a boolean. It can be a true or false. The while loop in here accepts a boolean. It's either true or false. Was it listed in there? What would you? Oh, there. Bool. Yeah. Boolean. Yeah. I don't know why it's called boolean. It's probably some guy. Thanks. Thanks, Germany. Yes, I would. Yes. So they're named after George Boole, who I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake. who I guess was a mathematician, and he did things in math, and basically said like, yo. It's named after George Boole, who first defined an algebraic system of logic in the mid-19th. It's a guy. I don't know why we name it after that, but right. Basically, there's a data type that has one or two possible values, using them with true or false. So, yeah. There you go. So, yeah. So we save checklist txt. Let's at the bottom here save to oh, what are we gonna call it? It should be like when you open up the program, you have to type in a name. I think it's gonna be a command line, because like, okay, we've said in the beginning that either it's command line or a CLI, but I mean, why not mix them, right? Like, we can have it be a CLI in the beginning where you input the name of the checklist, and then it like a save, yeah, exactly, like a save file, right? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. File name. We're gonna name it for now. Later on, once we like add the loading part in, we can save it to the same file and so on. So we gotta open this boy again. Okay, and then we have this dump, right? JSON.dump object fp file-like object, right? Something that does write, and as we know, we can write it to this file handle. So we can JSON.dump the object, yes, so that's the checklist, into f. That's about it, really. Is it really? Hang on. How did it do the good looking? Because it looks like garbage, right? As you can see. Sort keys to indent equals 4. Let's type that one as well. Indent equals 4. Okay, if I now execute the program and I go add nice. Did you forget to import JSON? Yes, I did. You just do that at the beginning and that's it. Okay. Oh, Jesus, fuck. What is this? Object of type item is not JSON serializable. Why not? What? Well, how about we... Motherfuckers, you do... Right, look here, JSON load. That's what I was gonna use. But I... fuck. Motherfuckers. Broski. How do we... Bro, okay. There has to be... Hang on, broskis. Command line interface. No, fuck off. I want... How do we save this bullshit? Do we have to go into a list again? I don't wanna. Can we convert it into a dict? Right, into a dict. Python convert object to dict. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Underscore dict. Better produce built-in vars function. Return the dict attribute. Okay. All right. Well, we can try it. How did it go? Vars of a variable. Okay. Well. Oh, fuck. So. Oh God, no! But it's a list. I need to. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new list in here. And it will basically be empty in the beginning. But for each item in the checklist, we have to go in and append into the new list the vars of the item that we make. And then in here we need to dump in the new list. Right? So something like this where you have like you have a list, but you kind of want to transform the things in the list, right? Because at this point, when we add our items into it, this checklist is going to become a list of items. But we cannot write item into JSON, which is why we have to basically turn this checklist of item into checklist of something else. Now I've said let's make it a dictionary, but like, so it's a bit difficult to do this thing. This is like, programmers have been doing this for centuries. There's a name for this. It's called a map, right? Where you're trying to map one thing into another thing, right? So you have a list of item and you're trying to map it into a list of dictionaries. That is what we're doing here. There is an easier way to do it in Python, but I hate it, so I'm just going to use this. So, okay, it didn't display anything because I keep forgetting to do shit. But there it is, save file JSON. Okay. We're saving it. Progress. Let's load it back in. Now, oh shit. Did it save it? What did it save? Nothing. Okay, now there's something in it. Let's edit this point. So, before we go into the infinite loop, we should maybe populate this checklist with the things that are in the save file. So, we have this, oh jeez, right, we have the load function, which takes in something that can read, which we know what can read, an open file. So with open save file.json, we're gonna read from it, not write, read from it, and then encoding equals UTF minus 8 f, and then deserialize fp into a Python object. Yes, right. So what was it? Deserialize. Deserialized is going to be JSON dot, what was it? Load from f. Right, okay, now what happens here is pretty important. So down here we write out the checklist into basically what we saw. Actually, I can show you. If I do, what was it? Fucking no, not that. Fuck, bro. V split. Oh, I can't do it anymore. Why does it suck so much? V split save file. Okay, so now I have two things. Here's the code and here's the save file JSON. So what we do is that we write each thing in the checklist into a list. So this is of dictionaries which contain this class as keys. So done corresponds to this done and it's false, and then title corresponds to this title and it has a string in it. Now what we're trying to do here is load it back. Now we're not going to get straight up the item back. What we're gonna get back is a list of dictionaries which will have keys done and titles of something. Alright, now we gotta do the fucking mapping. So for thing in this thing, right, and we gotta reconstruct it back. Now this init doesn't accept done, which is great for when we're working it down here. We can just plug it in and we can plug done back in. You know, I'm just gonna do that because it would be stupid to do otherwise. now we can do checklist.append, and we make a new item based on, like, keep in mind, the serialized is the list, so it's this part. And then that means the thing is gonna be each of these things. So we're gonna have this, and then below it you might have something else, right? Now we want the thing. Can we do dot? No, probably not. Let's do this one. Done. Right, so this is how you index a dictionary. And then we want the thing and title. Right, and that basically preloads the checklist. So this was already in the save file, and this is what we added with this command. Absolute coding. Amazing. Amazing. 2 hours, and we made a stupid little checklist app in Python. Right. So, you know, I can add more. Ta-da. Right. And it only took 70 lines of Python to get it done. Exactly. Although one thing that I just realized, if somebody throws an unknown command, maybe we should continue the loop instead of falling through and then doing all the saving stuff. Because if somebody inputs an unknown command, then like, what are we gonna do? Just go back up and loop again. Right. I think this is great, right? So I can now just, you know, run it again, and it's still the same checklist. The only problem is if we now want to delete something, we gotta go into the. We're gonna go into. That's right. What is it called? Save file. Yeah, okay. We gotta go into here and remove it. So if I remove something. And then I run program again. And if I exit, it doesn't do anything. I have to add something. Oh god. Add. Yeah. It removed something because it loaded in and it updated. So yeah. And then here's the question: what happens if the file doesn't exist? Alright, I'm just gonna oh god, what's delete in fucking, is it RM? I hope it's RM. Right, so it's not in there, and I lower it up. The file doesn't exist. Fuck. A file not found error. I kind of want to fix that before I go and and leave, because I mean it's practically done, right? I want to go and once I stream tomorrow, I'm gonna, like, before I stream, I'm gonna fill out the list with the app, right? And then just yeah, maybe I'll work on it a bit off stream. There are some other things that I need to add around here, because this is a valid Python thing. It's just not really how I personally would cut it up. So tomorrow I'm gonna prepare a bunch. I'm gonna basically do shit. But let's fix the bug about the file not found. It happened here with open. So maybe before we go, we could check file like object, file object, open. Okay, there we go. Right. How do we know if the file exists? This is the normal functions. Pathlib file exists. Return true if the path. Okay, well, yeah, we could do that. So, pathlib. We gonna import some bullshit. Yeah. So. Basically, if the file exists, go ahead. If not, just skip this entire open stuff. Is that how it works? Yes. If the file exists, do all of this. Can I just indent it? Oh, thank God. Right, so if the file exists, then you open it, then you do the load, then you do the serialize, then you do all this bitch. Actually, we can... No, we can't, because it's in the scope. Okay. Yeah, basically. That's it. So... if I now... Path's not defined. Oh, I forgot to import it. From pathlib import path. I think that's what we're gonna do. There you go. So it doesn't exist, which means that, you know, it. Yeah. Why not add the to-dos for tomorrow now? If I fit. So, what are we gonna add? Let's say. Okay, I'm gonna say put a Python bow around it. That is just because I gotta add some things to make it like a genuine Python program, but that's gonna be for the future. Before the stream ends, I'm gonna go and upload this so that you guys can check it out publicly and copy the code if you want, instead of having to retype it from the stream. Another thing that we can add, so put a Python bow around it. I'll do that tomorrow when the stream starts. I will prepare some stuff, and then we can go and put a bow around it ourselves. After the bows around it is except the checklist file from the command line orgs, right? Add. Oh look, add. Let's see how's that gonna cope. Add marking of the items. Okay. Alright, put a Python boron, accept the checklist file from the command line, add a marking of the items. Basically checking if they're done or not. Yep, checking if they're done or not. I don't know. If I call it marking a to do, I don't know why. Right, like I'm using the wrong word. I don't know what to believe. I don't want to use check, cause like, right, that's something different in my mind. Marking it. At deleting certain items, at editing certain items. Right, see what I mean? Like, we have a checklist now. We've programmed this up ourselves. If we want something, you know, something for the stream, we just program it. What's stopping us? Nothing. The world is ours. Type shit. Anything else come to mind? Put Python boron, accept the checklist file from the line args. Add marking. Add deleting, editing. I genuinely don't know. Yeah. No, I think that will be actually, you know what? Clean up some of the code. Right, that's one. What about like colored tasks? That would be cool. The only problem is that the way that I show this code, the text is with a text file. So you can add colors, yes, but it's a color for the whole text file, right? So you cannot add color tasks yourself. We would have to do something else, like one of the things in here that you can do is fucking, where is it? Where, not an image. I don't want to do images. Although we could technically do images. We could try that. Custom widget. Apps. Okay, there's nothing. An existing scene, instant replay. An image, a media file. A color block app collab. Spout to dynamic screen game browser. HTML. You know, we could rewrite this to just output an HTML file. And then we can just show it. Really? Hang on. Browser source. Local file. We could do that if we wanted colored tasks. If we wanted to do to be a bit more, you know, not just a text file, but you know, we have the code. The possibilities are endless. We just gotta sit down and do it. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna stop for today. If I do this and clean, there you guys, check this. Look at it, bitch. Yippee! So there you go. Right. So let's go, and we have our to-do.txt, right? So add some commands. We did that. We added the add command. There you go. I'm gonna delete. I'm gonna delete to do because we don't need it. We have the save file JSON, which we're gonna need. Checklist.txt is the thing that's outputted. Yeah, so we're gonna keep that. We have sticky.py, which is the program. And we have the notes. So let's check out the notes. Right, mark, delete, save checklist file, rifle, right, Python. Yep, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this public. Git init that bitch. There you go. Let's just check shit out, and then like sticky and notes. Don't worry if you don't understand what I'm doing here. This is gonna be for the future. New files, notes, sticky. Yes. Okay. Some dumb shit. Alright. Let's pop into here. GitHub.com Polylogic64. There we go. By the way, if you ever want to see the first thing I downloaded, like my streaming tools, I added them as a public archive because this is like the first thing, and I actually used it, right? Remember the time in the corner? This is what I used. It's written in C# and it sucks balls, right? It's completely old. I think it's in main window. Yeah. So this is like I would never. Oh God. Directory get current directory. Look, it's the same thing, but it's like I left the comments in there. C#. Yeah. It was just shit. Like it's just yeah, and then do this but gooder. Right. So this is the first piece of code I wrote. Music part. Right. It's 300 lines long, and it's just it. Format button reset dot click. Text box 1.text equals empty. Right. If this, then nothing. Else do all of this. Why didn't I just flip this condition and then just put this up here? Right? I mean, it's complete bullshit code. That's why I have it here. Right? It kind of worked. It sucked balls. Best cat face.ico. You know what this is? This is the stupid cat face. Alright. Anyway. We're gonna make a new repository. We're gonna call it sticky. Are we gonna uppercase it, lowercase it? Let's lowercase it. There you go. Public. you can't believe it. I'm just gonna throw MIT license on it. Yeah. Add git ignore. No, not yet. We're gonna add it on later. And great repository. I didn't. Oh. How do I? Fuck. How do I add this as an origin? I forgot. You had to think about it. Yeah, because. What the fuck? Okay. Well, I don't want to clone it. I want to put it in there. How do I add origin? Git remote. What was it? Git remote. Fuck. Remote add. Was it this? Because of the stupid cop. Okay. I don't know how to push to that bullshit. Fuck. How do I push? Main? Is it main? Main. But mine's called master. Ugh, hang on. This is a bit. Yeah. Thanks. Oh. Good. New repository. Sticky. Hey. Republic. No license for now. I'm gonna add it later. There we go. Receipt. Okay. Jesus Christ. Remote at origin. Right, I forgot that step. Okay. Right. Mine is not called main, it's called master because don't ask me, right? There you go. There it is. Our notes. And then the program itself. Take. If you can press this to just copy the file and then you can just have it. Right, you can do whatever. And here's the link. So yeah, we're gonna develop this tomorrow more. I'm probably gonna add a license off stream, just MIT license because why not? Sadly, it's one of the things that you gotta think about as a programmer, but we haven't done that at school yet, so I don't fucking know anything about it. Oh wow, the stream latency was apparent from that. Yeah, there was a bit of latency. I don't know why. I'm connected up to LAN and everything, but that's just the way it is. So, yeah, there we go. That's sticky for you. We're gonna develop that tomorrow with the checklist in the top left and yeah. Anyway, after basically 2.5 hours of coding that up, yeah, see ya, and bye bye. I don't have like an end stream thing, so I just like quit the stream and then like yeah, that's it. I'm gonna upload the thing to YouTube. I'm gonna try at least. I don't really know. Do a YouTuber outro? I don't have that. I don't. What the fuck? What did they say? I don't know. I don't know what. Bye bye. Fuck you.